Welcome to Retirement Key Radio with Abe Abish.
So it's a common question for those of us nearing retirement age. What percentage of our nest egg should we risk in the stock market? CNBC actually put that question to Fidelity's Jean Thompson. Here's what she said.
The key thing to remember is that you could be in retirement for another 25 or 30 years. We find that most people underestimate their longevity. They actually don't believe that they're going to live until they're 90, and many will. So you still want to make sure that you're not too conservative. But if you're getting closer to retirement and the market's going down, you do want to keep tabs on it to ensure that you're not taking on too much risk or too little risk, because you do have another potentially 30 years to go.
So she says we shouldn't take on too much risk, but we also shouldn't have too little risk. And Abe, I would rate this answer as a, quote, not very helpful. So
exactly.
Can you give us some better advice on this subject, please?
Right. Yeah, thanks a lot for that generic advice that may and probably does not help me out too much. So what's the answer, Heather? Getting specific advice, tailored advice to your personalized situation.
Okay.
You know, everyone's situation is different. And so we have people call into the show from all over the DC, Metro, Virginia, Maryland areas. And I can guarantee you one thing, Heather.
Okay.
Can't guarantee anything about the market. Everybody is different and everyone's situation is unique. So what do you need to do? You need to get a plan customized and tailored to you and your individual needs and goals, because you are different than your neighbor, your workers, your church members, and everyone you know.
That's right.
Might be some similarities, but there are unique differences for sure. So we had a couple call into our show. They live in Loudoun County. They are already retired.
Okay.
They're in their early 70s. The husband is like a former CIA employee, and he's got a huge pension, and they've got Social Security, and they've got a little under $3 million saved.
Wow.
A fantastic job of saving and accumulating and investing, and almost all of this money in their early 70s is in stocks with a big stock brokerage firm. Nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But here they are in their early 70s, and really all they have is an investment plan that has done them very well. And one of the reasons why it's done them very well is because the last decade in the market's been very good to most of us, you know. So this couple's very smart. You know, again, almost $3 million saved. They're living very comfortably. They have no income problems because of the pensions and Social Security. Then on top of that, $3 million saved. However, they knew they were taking on too much risk. Almost all of that $3 million is in individual stocks.
Okay.
So what did they do? They just simply picked up the phone and said, you know what? We don't know what we don't know. They called into the show and they wanted to take advantage of our Where Do I Stand plan, which is essentially, Heather, as you know, a complimentary second opinion and a compass check on your whole retirement plan. Now, almost everyone in this area is already working with a financial professional, a financial advisor or investment manager. And that's fine. And there are also a lot of people in this area who have done very well on their own and they're individual do-it-yourself investors who are very smart and have done very well. But typically, the people who have done very well are open to ongoing suggestions and advice. And so here's this couple calling in. They come in, they go through our whole Where Do I Stand plan process. And what we did for them, one of the many things we did for them, Heather, was we gave them an investment and risk analysis. Our team of investment advisors provided that analysis to them. And part of that analysis was a 401k and IRA analysis. So what do, Heather? We take their statements. We put every holding into our software, our investment software, and that spits out a comprehensive investment and risk analysis report, a compass check on where they stand. What is their fees and expenses? What is their potential annual return based on how they're invested? What is the risk they're taking, right? What is their standard deviation? What is their potential highs and potential lows? They knew they needed to diversify more out of the stock asset class, out of the equity asset class. They knew they needed to reduce risk, and we helped them to do just that.
Got it.
Okay?
Yep.
One of the other things is that this massive big box firm they're working with, nothing wrong with them, but one of the issues is that this company is on the West Coast and they have no face-to-face relationship with their advisor. It's all phone. Well, Heather, almost all of our clients are 55 to 75, and they really enjoy and value meeting with an advisor and a company face-to-face.
Sure.
This is a huge deal, right? This couple has $3 million, and they really value just coming into the office and, coming to our company events and seeing our team face to face. And so that's obviously something, being here locally,
Yep.
that we can provide to them. So I really encourage, anyone listening to take advantage of a complimentary 401k analysis. It's free. We'll put in all your holdings and give you a compass check, let you know the good and bad, the pros and cons of your current holdings and investments, and whether you make a change or not, at the very least, you have a great compass check on how you're invested today.
When was the last time you did a risk check on your 401k or other IRA? Or perhaps you never have. If not, now is the time to get specific, get that tailored information that we all need. You can, of course, always learn more anytime at retirementkeyradio.com. So we do talk a lot here about retirement in general terms, but I want to drill down a little bit and talk about it on a more personal level. I'm sure that we have listeners right now who are having the retirement conversation, and he or she needs a little more help figuring out when they can really afford to pull the trigger. It's a stressful thing to think about, how they can know when they really can do it, when they can really pull it off.
Yeah, and I would, compare this to like the general practitioner of the world and in the doctor world and medical world to like the heart surgeon, right?
Okay.
There are tons of financial advisor and investment management firms out there, and most of the times they have good names and they help their clients with investments, right? And they're typically general practitioners in terms of helping most people with their investments. It could be someone in their 20s. Out of college.
Wow.
It could be somebody in their 40s or 60s or 70s. But when you're dealing with this potential transition, Heather, from your working career into retirement, you need to work with a heart surgeon, right? You need to work with someone who only works and helps people with this transition into retirement, or only works with people that are retired, because the retirement plan that this pre-retiree and retiree needs is much different than the investment and accumulation and savings plan that a 20, 30, or maybe 40 or even early 50-year-old has. It's very different, because we've got to turn this bucket of money and all of these assets into an income producing plan.
Right.
An income producing plan that can help us to create all the things we want out of our lives in retirement. Some of the things you want to do is you want to find out, hey, have I saved enough? And will this savings help me to create the income that I need in retirement?
Right.
Health insurance, that's a potential challenge. Do we have to, get our own, or can we hop on Medicare? And, no matter how much you plan ahead, life can throw a wrench at you, right?
Sure can.
Maybe you get forced into early retirement, or maybe there's a major disruption at work, like a reorganization, a health shock in the family, or again, just being laid off early, not according to your plan. We actually had a gentleman call in 3 years ago to the show, Heather, and this kind of tells you, this kind of shows you how, life's timing is unpredictable and how it's all about life's timing.
Yeah.
He called into the show 3 years ago. We actually met with him, and at that time, he was not ready to retire. He just recently called back into the show again about a month or two ago, came back in. He and his wife are 60, 61. They're going to be retiring within the next 15 to 18 months. Matter of fact, they've already started this transition because he's up here still working. His wife is in Florida in their forever home.
Oh, really?
He's still working. So they've kind of transitioned. He goes down there for the holidays and things like that. And now they are ready to start moving forward with proactive planning.
Got it.
One of the things that we have been able to help them with right off the bat is what I call dead money in the bank.
Okay.
What do I mean by that?
Yeah.
Well, for them, they sold their home here in the area. They bought their forever home in Florida and pocketed $600,000 after the sale of the home and after buying their Florida home.
Wow.
So $600,000 is sitting around in the bank, dead money.
Okay.
Not doing a darn thing except for staying liquid and then essentially going backwards, right? Because we're not keeping up with inflation.
That's
and
right.
there are no tax advantages. So one of the things we did for them is we got some of this dead money off the sidelines. And there is so much dead money out there, going through this pandemic. People just beefed up their cash reserves. And so what we did for them is we invested some of that dead money, got it off the sidelines, got it working a lot harder for them according to their risk tolerance. And that's a simple example. But by calling into the show again, he said, you know what? I want to see if we're ready right now to retire.
Yeah.
They are ready. And this is one of the things that we helped them with.
Find out more at retirementkeyradio.com. Financial professionals are not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if Abraham Abish is licensed in your state, please call 571-577-9968. Abish Financial Services is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Abraham Abish, NPM number 770-3575.